Hello, I'm FPX Toycat, and when the Minecraft spin-off Dungeons received its final update, Mojang made it absolutely clear that the team had moved on to new projects that continue to explore experiences in the Minecraft universe. However, despite making it very clear the team were working on something, Mojang hasn't revealed any extra details on this Minecraft spin-off until accidentally this week some new job postings reveal what might be going on with the newest Minecraft game, and so let's talk about that alongside the two new updates that came out this week. You might be curious as to why it involves throwing diamonds into lava, and also the frying table leak, which is one of my favorite things. There's a lot of theories from you about what it might be, and we'll dive into those right after I mention that yes, Mojang has gone on a bit of a hiring kick. They have posted to a job listing website that we are Mojang Studios, best known as the creators of Minecraft, but we're on a mission to build a better world through the power of play, and specifically they show off Minecraft and Minecraft Dungeons, which they're of course no longer working on. And so they have a lot of job postings. Here's the full list of them, which they're specifically hiring only for the Stockholm office. They do have other offices, but they're specifically only hiring in Sweden right now, and taking a closer look at the postings, you can see some of these are specific to the Bedrock version of the game, Senior C++ Engineer for Bedrock, or specific to Java, Senior Java Backend Engineer, but otherwise they're hiring a bunch of people for roles that already exist on Minecraft, and they're hiring them all in the same location. Looks like they're trying to get a bunch of new skills. Taking a look into some of these people, like a creative manager, an art director, or game designer mobile, and you'll notice on the page itself, they say that Minecraft is the game that started our journey, but our universe is always growing. We love to experiment with new game genres and experiences, inviting our community to explore the Minecraft franchise in fresh and original ways. We're always looking for passionate people with various skills to join us in expanding the Minecraft universe. Mojang is assembling a team of visionaries to develop new mobile games and experiences. As a game designer, you will lead the design decisions and process of making a fun and great looking game with the player's journey and perspective in focus. To cut through the corporate speak for you, Minecraft is working on a mobile game, which is incredibly exciting. The two big spin-offs they've developed mostly themselves, Dungeons and Legends, are both exclusive to Xbox and console platforms and the PC, so to make a game for mobile is exciting, but it's even weirder and more specific than that, because take a look at the Senior Gameplay Engineer mobile, and you'll notice that they're looking for someone with gameplay programming experience from shipping at least one mobile game from start through release to post-launch on iOS and Android. This makes it sound a lot like either mobile is going to be a big priority, or maybe to go even further, it will be a mobile exclusive game. This sounds especially interesting and maybe exciting because in the gameplay tech lead they're hiring for, they do want someone specifically with experience with architecture of multiplayer games, and so it sounds as though Minecraft are working on a brand new mobile game, and that mobile game is going to be multiplayer. That obviously raises a lot of questions. What could Minecraft be doing within their universe that's going to be multiplayer and mobile first, or mobile exclusive? And at first I wanted to say my own theory about, well, I said before that a card game makes sense. Lots of Mojang employees like card games. Mojang themselves even published one. It just didn't do too successfully, maybe because it wasn't Minecraft linked. Maybe now is the time to go into mobile with a card game. That was what I started to think smugly until I looked at the senior lighting artist position, which as you can see right here, actually references developing games for consoles and familiarity with action and RPG games. It also references a 3D package like Maya or Blender, and so as a result, they might be working more on console. They might be working on a separate console game. They might be just working on separate titles for console and for mobile. But interestingly enough, they are hiring a lot of people all at once, a lot of very senior people too, it seems like, that they're not getting internally, to make a brand new game, and I am incredibly curious what it is that they're making. For what it's worth though, the bad news is that if they are just hiring these people now, if these jobs haven't been filled yet and these postings are fairly recent, then that does have the bad news of meaning that whatever they're working on, whether it's a cool card game or an action RPG, whether it's for mobile specifically, or whether it's available on all platforms, we're just focusing on mobile, kind of like how Minecraft Bedrock works, it could be that whatever it is just starting work now, and so has a long way to go until a final version, maybe even 2025 or beyond, but who knows for sure. It's something that's exciting to hear about, and speaking of things that are exciting to hear about, I think it's worth spending at least a few seconds responding to the person who asked, how do I get this Bedrock update for PC? It's still on 1.20.41. Fun fact, this is the first time I've seen it with a Minecraft Bedrock update. In general, that game is really good at mobile updates. It's great at PC updates. It's always one of the consoles that has the update come out like a day later, and usually it's the Switch, but this was the first time that the update came out for Windows, the very latest. Indeed, this was something confirmed by David Fries, who said that sorry for the delay in response, responding about it not coming out, but then he said a few hours later, the update should be out now, thanks for your patience, very cryptically not clarifying why the update was delayed, just saying it was delayed, but it's out now. And so if you want to get your hands on 1.2050, you can, but you might instead care more about the brand new update for Minecraft Java 1.20.3, except actually I'm of course talking about 1.20.4 because they released 2 Java Edition updates this week, and the second one is interesting because all it did was fix the decorated pots that could delete items when reloading the world. And it's very funny that they chose to use as the image for their post this, which is someone storing their diamonds inside of a pot, but then putting it inside of a piece of redstone, which causes them to shoot out into lava. In other words, they've worked out a system for destroying diamonds slightly more effectively. Very, very, very goofy, right? Speaking of goofy though, an interesting part of this bug fix though is not just that they changed one line of code for an entire Minecraft update, or the fact that they're using it to promote diamond destruction, but instead that it's 2 Minecraft Java updates coming out in 1 week. We usually have this huge pre-release and then a release candidate process followed by snapshots, etc. And it's very nice to see that just, oh yeah, they've released it, it was fine, everything is great, and that is something that is positive, I think we can say. After seeing 2 months between 1.20.2 and 1.20.3, it's nice to know that if they need to get an emergency update out, they can do it pretty quickly, which is important for my Bedrock friends because as Austin Tillery says, can they fix the issue where my sword keeps turning into a boat whenever I switch between them? I lost my sword 4 times yesterday on my world and it literally just duplicates my boat, the durability, the enchants, everything, and my sword is gone. I would usually read a comment like this and assume that someone had taken a little bit too many drugs when they were last playing Minecraft. However, 5 people agreed with it, and so fun fact, this is a real bug that you can find. It is MC177353, and basically it is a very real repeatable bug that this person on Twitter had right here, and I thought this was so disastrous for Aaron Garibay because they were just shoveling, trying to go through a trail ruins, which is still broken on Bedrock, and then their netherite shovel turned into a brush. That is absolutely disastrous, but for what it's worth, if you go back into this bug and you look at some of the videos there, you can see you can use this to your advantage by turning arrows into bows or turning anything else into enchanted tridents. It is a duplication glitch, and so hopefully the fact that it is so powerful in the bad ways while also being so powerful in the really bad ways is something that will cause Minecraft to fix it with 1.20.51, so expect to see that soon if everything goes according to plan. Speaking of according to plan, Not Nugget asks, are pots useful or are they just fun dungeon blocks? This is an interesting question because pots just received a big update, and although I think it's fun that you can break them in the dungeons, in my opinion they are so fun by themselves. From what I've played with, they're actually a valuable item, and honestly I'm looking forward to using them a little bit more, and so I'll be doing that the next time there's a build that fits them, and I recommend the same for you. By the way, speaking of recommendations, I got shown this Minecraft meme by quite a few people, and so I guess it's important we relive another big controversy, because how many bosses are there in Minecraft? Well, this meme says, I'm the dumbest man alive. The Elder Guardian is a boss mob. You're clearly dumber, and then gives him the crown. And honestly, this meme is fun and a good way of representing what some people believe, because the Ender Dragon is the only boss everyone agrees is a boss mob. You literally have to beat it to beat the game, and so that is the one true boss. And then whether you argue the Wither is a boss too, or whether you argue, say, the Raid is a boss, depends on how you measure boss. Is it that big boss bar at the top? And then after that, there's a few other mobs, I think the Elder Guardian and the Warden, which are clearly much, much stronger than most other mobs in the game, but are they true bosses? It's an interesting debate, but I'll settle it right now for you because the boss update came out for Minecraft Pocket Edition in October of 2016, and included in the boss update were 2 brand new mobs, or 3 brand new mobs, the Guardian, the Elder Guardian, and the Wither. You can't call it the boss update if you're just adding the Wither, that would be the Wither update, and so clearly Mojang sees the Elder Guardian as a boss mob, or they're bad at naming updates. Actually, that last one might be true, but this hits surprisingly close to home for me because I wanted to make a video to give people an easy guide to each of the boss mobs, but I realized if I use any definition of boss mob, I'm just going to have a bunch of comments arguing about it, and so I have to come up with a better definition or a better word than boss mob. And so if you see that video, you'll know what you're getting yourself into. Speaking of getting yourself into, Frying Table is gonna be Fireflies 2.0, except this time not even explicitly promised, and I want to say Leo changes names. The Frying Table hasn't been promised or really even directly told. Mojang could come out right now and say, oh yeah, when we showed that guy working the frying tables. That was a mistake. We didn't check his tabs. He was obviously doing something ridiculous. I think a funny example of this is the idea from Rabek Jonas, who says, or since a frying table is a real world thing, I suspect that's what his wife is getting for Christmas this year. It's entirely possible that he's actually got some other tab in there that he's working on for some personal project. It would be very weird for him not to close this when people come to cameras to his workplace. However, maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he thinks it's fun, or maybe the most fun idea that I've heard about this is that another viable option is that it's an instant decrafter, essentially frying the object. And this would actually be a fun use for an item. What if we have a crafter in the game, but also a decrafter? That would allow us to make complicated crafting machines and then uncraft the result on the other side. Sounds ridiculous on the surface, yes, but there are all sorts of items which people would love to uncraft. My personal bugbear on this is I would love to be able to uncraft, say, armor into its ingots, which is very OP, but even just Neverwarts going, Neverwart blocks going back to Neverwarts, that would change my life in such a serious way. And what if they made it so that there were some items you could only obtain by frying them? For example, the warped Neverwart block, if you could turn that into warped Neverwarts and that was the only way to get it, it would give some real value to it. It might sound a little bit silly, but bear in mind that when it comes to frying items, Mojang has already done it. I mean, it's in the image, right? And so they've already shown us that they care about frying items and they think we should too, and so maybe that's part of it. Speaking of part of it, if they add a fryer, they also need to add jelly so you can work your cooking with toy cat magic in Minecraft. And yeah, every now and then I re-see that video. In fact, let's watch it together right now. I re-see this video of me putting, some panko crumbs on some jelly. I'm switching the camera around, and I just don't know the chaos this is going to cause. Everyone in chat knows the chaos because jelly is made of mostly water. Don't put water in oil. But this was my first time deep frying. I decided to stream it, and I very quickly realized that even though you can deep fry most things and they taste much better, if you do it with jelly, okay, no. Don't do it, Toy Cat. No! Why? Okay. So, I made some very, very angry oil. Very, very angry, and I'm desperately just trying to scoop it out of there, but it's burning my hand as I'm going close. And honestly, I'm just surprised this is allowed on YouTube. Next up, we have a comment from Warpath77. Does this dude have Parkinson's? And it's fun because it used to be that if you, if you really wanted to have a comment like this, you'd have to type in your symptoms into Google, and then it would tell you that you have some crazy disease otherwise. But now apparently all you have to do is make a video about the ultimate guide to enchanting in Minecraft 1.20. Why would that be the video that concerns you so much? Anyway, the interesting thing is sometimes it's not just the internet concerning me. I concern the internet sometimes, such as FigLopDan840822, who says, wait, if UK people call underwear pants, what do they call pants? Jeans? We call the thing that go on top of your pants trousers. We call it trousers if you've got something above your legs, and I think having a consistent term for it rather than trying to, I think the other one that's weird is that Americans will sometimes call it sneakers when you're referring to shoes, and it's like, what sneaking are you doing in them? Are you really sneaking around the house in those types of shoes? No, that's absolutely ridiculous. Speaking of absolutely ridiculous, so they finally included shaders in default. Neat. This is an interesting point I want to raise at the very end here, because the brand new deferred rendering, which looks beautiful by the way, is a preview / beta feature which they didn't include in default. One of the only features in the 1.2050 update which didn't make it into the final release but was in the betas was deferred rendering. And to answer the other logical question, which I've seen a surprising amount, does it need RTX? The biggest benefit of deferred rendering over RTX, besides the extra settings, is that it will not require a certain graphics card and will work on any device, including consoles and phones, which is reason enough to be excited if you ask me. If you have enjoyed learning about things from Elder Guardians being bosses to the way that deferred rendering works, or rather doesn't in the stable version of the game, then please do consider subscribing to the channel. It is one of the greatest ways that you can both say thank you, but also tell the YouTube algorithm that you want to see more videos like this one, because for now, this video is over. I hope you've all enjoyed it, because I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye. And that way we've got maximum safety if something goes bad. Oh god, oh man! That's not good. I should stop doing this now, I think. This is probably really dangerous.
Yeah, I see why you're not meant to do this at home. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stop this, I reckon.